Thank you for joining me once again. I'm Big Shy and this is my update for the 22nd of October 2025. I have two important topics to discuss with you today and I want you to take this seriously. Listen attentively because something big is about to happen. Something nasty is going to happen, believe it or not. Now, the first topic, NATO forces in Ukraine attacked Russian Federation today using a combination of missiles and drone. The Bryansk region, to be particular, was heavily attacked by NATO forces in Ukraine. The second topic, Russia retaliated with their own drones and missile strike all over the eastern side of Ukraine, including the capital city, Kyiv, and a lot of severe damages were done. So let's talk about the first topic. Before I talk about the Ukrainian attack, which was the first attack, I'm going to discuss the Russian attack first because it's going to make more sense once I tell you about the Russian attack and the reason why Russia launched those attacks. So Russia carried out a massive drones and missiles attack on Ukraine late last night and the early hours of this morning, the 22nd of October 2025. That attack focused on the eastern part of Ukraine, and from the flight of drones and missile map that was published today, it showed every single attack. About 80% of the attack focused on the eastern part of Ukraine. A lot of explosions were recorded. A lot of fire anomalies were captured in the process of the attack. A lot of drones and missiles were used in that attack by Russia. That wasn't a major attack, by the way. It was a very handful. They used only just drones and ballistic missiles. They did not use their aviation, which means Russia was not ready for that attack. They just launched the attack simultaneously without even thinking. Now, the reason why Russia launched that retaliatory attack will shock you when I tell you. And we're going to discuss it. You know how it is. Russia was forced to retaliate to what NATO forces in Ukraine did. And I'm going to discuss that with you step by step. So please listen. So why did Russia launch that sudden attack on Ukraine? All of a sudden, they didn't plan it. They just picked up and started attacking Ukraine. Why? Russia launched the attack after NATO forces helping Ukraine carried out a wave of missiles and drone attack deep in Bryansk region of Russia and a few other territories inside Russian Federation. Bryansk region of Russia came under heavy attack of drones and missiles from inside Ukraine. Moscow region was also said to be attacked and a few other regions within Russian Federation were also attacked, the area that border with Ukrainian, territory. All of those attacks were carried out by NATO forces. Please listen to what I'm about to say, okay? Don't get my word wrong. Listen carefully. All of those attacks were carried out by NATO forces in Ukraine. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I said those attacks were carried out by NATO forces in Ukraine. All the weapons that was used in that attack are operated or were operated by NATO forces in Ukraine. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. If you understand how the weaponry system works, if you understand how the Western weapon system works, there are some weapons that Ukraine is not allowed to operate. There are some weapons Ukraine cannot operate because they are not trained to use them. So the first weapon that was used to attack Russia today was the Storm Shadow missiles that is provided by the United Kingdom. A lot of Storm Shadow missiles were used to attack the Bryansk region of Russia today. The second weapon that was used was the Neptune missiles. I can't remember what country provided those weapons for Ukraine. I don't know if it's the United States, or I can't remember what country, but the Neptune missile was also used in that attack. They also used Pablo drones missile, one of those drones that fly like missiles, and a lot of kamikaze drones were used in those attacks. It was a combination strike by NATO forces into Russian Federation. None of those weapons I just mentioned were operated by Ukrainian forces or Ukrainian operative. None of them is operated by Ukraine, because those weapons those weapons need satellite guide and coordination to get and reach their target. And Ukraine doesn't have that technology. They are not allowed to even operate those systems for obvious reasons. Russia captured a lot of pictures and videos of those missiles flying across the borderline going into Bryansk region of Russia. After those attacks took place today, the Ukrainian army chief announced that Storm Shadow missiles and a lot of other weapons are being used to completely destroy the Bryansk region chemical plant inside Russia. It praised the forces for a good combination attack on the plant. That chemical plant is used to produce gunpowder for Russian forces. That is not the only one, by the way, but that is one of the biggest ones. It's used to produce explosives, and also used to produce rocket fuel for rocket and for drones and for a lot of other weapons. They produce a lot more other military equipment. That is not the first time that chemical plant had come under attack from inside Ukraine. And every single time Ukraine attacks that chemical plant, they tell us it was completely destroyed. Every single time. And then a few months later, they attacked the chemical plant again, and they tell us it was completely destroyed. And then yesterday or today, they attacked it again, and the army chief have just told us it was completely destroyed. So it looks like Russia has this magical spell they used to bring back that chemical plant in one form, in its original form, every single time. Well, the Ukrainian army chief said it was destroyed today, the 22nd of October 2025. Maybe this time they got lucky because the weapons that were used were Western-provided weapons. Perhaps, let's wait and see. That attack came the same day the UK Prime Minister and other European leaders vowed to ramp up pressure on Russian economy and its defense industry until Vladimir Putin is ready to make peace with Ukraine. You hear what I said? That attack that took place today in Russian Bryansk region came exactly as the UK Prime Minister and other European Union leaders were announcing that they are going to continue to put pressure on Russian economy and its defense industry until Vladimir Putin is ready to make peace to stop this war. That is not very hard to join the line together, is it? To understand what is going on here, right? Now, I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just giving you my update, and I'm trying to think outside the box, which, okay, let's not go there. A joint statement was co-signed by the Ukrainian government, the German government, the French, the Italian, the Polish, the Danish, and the EU and Norway government that Ukraine must have a strong position before or during any ceasefire take place. This was a coordinated attack by the European Union and NATO. Let me not say European Union, by NATO, because as you hear what they say, they are trying to put pressure on Russia's economy. Pressure they've been putting since the last 4 years that didn't work. So all of a sudden, they want to put pressure on Russian government today by destroying or firing weapons into Bryansk region of Russia. That will force Vladimir Putin to come and make peace or to end the war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russian authorities have not yet commented on this strike on the Bryansk, chemical plant. As at the time I was making this video, maybe by the time you're watching this video, you would have got an update on what the Russians said about the plant. But so far, so good. As at the time I was making this video, there is no update from the Russian side on what happened, if the plant was hit, If it wasn't hit, we don't know anything at the moment. They've warned previously that if the Western weapon is used to destroy any military infrastructure inside Russia, there will be consequences. Now, let's wait and see what follows. Right after the attack inside Russian Federation, Russia started their own attack. They launched their retaliatory attack on Ukraine, bombarded Ukraine heavily. Now, there is now a total blackout in the whole eastern region of Ukraine. All thanks to the EU leaders for their good job, for their provocation. Again, well done to the EU leaders. Like I said before, Russia didn't plan this attack because, I can guarantee you, this attack was spontaneous. They had to do something. Obviously, their reconnaissance team must have been flying around and saw where those weapons came from. So they had to hit those areas heavily. But one thing I can guarantee you is tonight or tomorrow or anytime soon, Russia is going to carry out a shocking wave of attack on Ukraine. In fact, that is going to be a major attack Russia is going to launch. And I can guarantee you that at the moment, as we're talking right now, that attack is loading. Russia is preparing. Russia didn't use their Su-160 and their Su-22 aircraft. That shows that Russia did not plan that attack, because every time Russia launched a massive or a big wave of strike on Ukraine, when it is planned, they always use their Su-160 and Su-22 aircraft. That was an indication that they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared to strike Ukraine, but they just wanted NATO and Ukraine to know that they are always loaded and ready to launch, at any time if they want to. Ukraine, I told you guys, I made a few videos yesterday. Those of you that follow me, that subscribe to me, and I told you the EU leaders will not give up. I'll come to that in a minute. Let me just finish this point. Russia only used different type of drones in this attack that took place yesterday and today, and Iskander ballistic missiles. That is it. There was no hypersonic missile. There was no. It's just regular Shahed drones, different type, and also different type of Iskander ballistic missiles were used in that attack. Kyiv, the capital city of Ukraine, Chernihiv, Dnipro, Kharkiv, Poltava, and Kamenska, the whole of the eastern region of Ukraine were attacked. Every single region, all because of the EU leaders thought that they know better they know better than everybody by attacking one Russian chemical plant. Russia attacked every single, how many regions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 regions of Ukraine. All because of the provocative actions of the EU leaders. They wanted to destroy just one chemical plant. And look what they've done to the poor country called Ukraine. All of those cities attacked by Russia were heavily under fire. Which means, all right, guys, please, help me out here. If you know you don't have air defense system that can protect you, why would you have to go and poke? Why would you have to go and look for firepower? Why would you have to go and look for trouble? I don't understand. This guy called Zelensky is becoming, I don't know. I don't understand. You know there's nothing to protect you, but then you go and look for trouble. Heavy bombardment. And that was not even a major attack from Russia. That is the thing. The major attack is loading. Trust me. In the capital city, Kyiv, Ukrainian city, they published a lot of videos showing their Patriot air defense system activated, but the air defense system was overwhelmed because those Patriot systems, I talked about it before, they only carry a maximum of 8 missiles or so at a time. Once they become empty, that city is on the side of hell, because it's just, it's shocking how these people think. I can't even, you know what? Anyway, the Patriot air defense system was emptied, and then missiles and drones started dropping left and right in the capital. One of the author of the video claimed the location of the Patriot air defense system was also hit after it ran out of missiles, because the Shahed drones Russia are using now, they're like reconnaissance drone. They transmit real life image and video. So whatever is happening, they can see. So the moment the Patriot air defense system ran out of missiles, they send a drone toward the location. If it was destroyed, damaged, nobody knows. But the author of that video said they hit the location of that Patriot air defense system. Like they say, air defense system cannot protect you 100%, especially when one missile costs about $5 million US. All right, now let's do the math. Let's say a total of 8 missiles were used in just that attack. I mean, in just that, trying to repel Russian attack. Let's say it was just 8 missiles that was used. So that is $5 million US times 8. That is 40 million. Is it? Yeah, I think I'm correct. That is 40 million US dollars gone. Just like that. Who said war is cheap? War is not cheap, my friend. War is not cheap. Another major power plant in Kyiv was destroyed in that attack by Russia. The power plant is called the CHIP, that is CHPPS. It was destroyed by Russia today using ballistic missiles in that strike that was carried out. They call the power plant number 5 or whatever they call it. Look it up. It's called the CHPPS power plant. One of the major power plant in Kyiv, in capital, was destroyed by Russia today. Major power outrage, blackout. Now, the capital city is already standing on one leg, and now Russia is ready to completely knock off all the... I don't understand, man. Another city called Kamenskoye and Izmail was also attacked by Russia using ballistic missiles. Now, the Izmail attack is the very interesting one. Izmail is one of the Odessa Oblast, one of the Odessa little town. It's very close to Romania. There's a port city there that Ukraine have been using to smuggle NATO weapon into Ukraine. It was attacked, and they claimed a major power facility in Izmail was also destroyed, and the port facility there was completely knocked out of shape by Russia. This was confirmed by the local authority that, the power plant has been destroyed and their port infrastructure in Izmail had also been damaged. Kharkiv, the second largest city, was also attacked by Russia. Kharkiv had come under regular bombardment by Russia in the last month anyway. And that city is steadily and rapidly becoming unlivable, inhabitable, because a set of complex buildings in the center of the city was damaged today. About 4 or 5 set of complex together. And trust me, Russia never miss. Russia never miss. If they attack those 5 set of complex using about 4 or 5 Iskander ballistic missiles, then something was definitely going on in those buildings. We'll soon find out. We'll soon find out once we hear from the Russian Ministry of Defense. A lot of damages were also done in Dnipro city. The power plant in Dnipro was also destroyed by Russia, and there's now a total blackout. Like I said, the entire eastern region of Ukraine is in complete blackout. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting your time too much, to summarize this short update, those attacks that was launched by NATO and encouraged by the EU leaders had no true purpose. This had nothing to do with this war that is going on in Ukraine. They launched those attacks for one reason and one reason alone: to disrupt the scheduled meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. That is the bottom line. Now, I already told you guys the EU leaders would go beyond go to make sure that meeting doesn't take place. They would do everything to make sure that meeting doesn't happen. if they are not involved in those talks. I mean, this is nothing to be surprised about, because you could hear them literally in the open saying it. We are not going to accept it. It is not going to happen. But they say it using political languages to confuse some of you. But some of us, we understand what they mean. So I said it in most of my videos already that there is going to be a lot of provocation from the EU, from NATO, in regard to this meeting that is scheduled between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, happening in European soil without involving the European leaders. Good luck. Now, watch out, just watch out what Russia is going to do next. That is all I'm going to say. You know for a fact, Russia will not allow this attack slide, right? Even though they've dealt enough damages to Ukraine today, Vladimir Putin will not allow it slide. By the way, where is Zelensky? Where is Zelensky? Out of Ukraine. He always get flown out of Ukraine before they escalate matters, before they cause some form of provocation. Zelensky gone to Europe. He's meeting somebody here, because they take him out. They know the country is not safe. Before they launch the provocation, it's like the little agreement. Hey, listen, before you use my country to look for trouble, make sure you take me out first. And they only take him out. They take him out and allow the ordinary Ukrainian people to suffer. Just yesterday, Hungary and Romania were attacked. We still haven't heard anything from the world leaders, any condemnation. We still haven't heard anything from the EU leaders. What does that tell you? What does it tell you? No condemnation, no comment from the EU leaders, because they know exactly how they planned all those attacks. They know exactly who did it. They know exactly who they encouraged to do it. That is why they are not commenting on that issue. So Hungary and Romania are just left there now, right? Of course, Hungary will say we're doing our own investigation. So what is going to happen if Hungary find out it was Ukraine that launched those attacks on their critical energy infrastructures? Will they trigger Article 5? Trigger? Boy. Will they trigger Article 5? I don't think so. I don't think so. But what do you think? What do you think about all of this? NATO fired into Russia. Russia retaliated. Ordinary Ukrainian people suffering for what they know nothing about. All of this just because they don't want the meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin to take place without them being involved. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you like the content, if you like the video, please kindly indicate by giving the video a like to encourage us to do more. And also, if you would like to become the channel supporter, our site supporter, kindly join our monthly subscription with the link below that says join. Click on that link and, click the join button and give whatever you can. You don't have to, but if you want to subscribe monthly or just one-off, why not? We can do with your support to continue to maintain and bring out more interesting content. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section on this one. If you have any question or anything you want to share, leave it in the comment section and we will talk about it. Have a great day and God bless.